Hey guys, it's been 6 months since the last Internet Historian video. We're back with I Am Become Fancy Theater. I have no idea what this is. Let's go. Came out yesterday.
Brought to you by NordVPN.
I really don't know. I mean, hold up a sec. There's a couple of things here. Okay, just I accept. Yes. Have you read these 48 pages?
Tisk.
Yes.
Tisk.
I accept.
Look at you. Uncultured.
True.
Unsophisticated.
True.
Middle
Yo, they got some animation budget here. Look at that.
sophisticated.
Blinking eyes and everything.
Middle
moving eyes.
class.
Horrible.
No, don't speak. You'll just make me throw up. I'd say cover up with this dinner jacket, but I'm afraid that you'd get your head stuck in the sleeve and asphyxiate.
Help, I'm stuck.
Listen, lowball. Don't you want to be refined? Don't you want to be fancy? Like moi?
Yes.
That's French. I don't expect you to know what it means, but I have some good news. Before this financial year ends, I have decided to make a charitable deduction. It's you, champ. For you see,
You can have premarital sex.
This virus.
Jason X.
I have made several videos, though, which will show you how to bluff your way to the inner circles.
Bill Gates.
Undetected. Yes. By the time the elites find out,
And the Zuck,
Neon
of
Genesis
course.
Evangelion is psychological and intense.
it will be too late. I get you in, you eat all the hors d'oeuvres, and we get out. That's the plan.
Good.
And let's begin your instruction
Let's
with
do it. What you got for me?
theater, the YouTube premium of upper society.
Oh my god. YouTube
and the
Premium.
first section, symphony.
Oh my god, the old school ringtone.
The first period of performance, that's called Baroque, from 1600 to 1750. This featured Bach
Okay, this is actually pretty
and Vivaldi. Now, there was also a guy named
a lot of information
Giuseppe
here.
Tartini, and he was the best one of them all, because one evening he had a dream where the devil showed up and presented him with a deal. The devil would
the doom music.
become his teacher and impart on him everything he knew about music.
How to throw the
Yes. Once Tartini had learnt everything he could, he handed over his violin and asked the devil to play.
This really is a informational video.
And asked the
Doom
devil
again, old school Doom.
to play. The devil played the greatest musical piece that Tartini had ever heard. Tartini woke up with a gasp, and he tried to recreate what he had heard in the dream. And what he wrote down was his most famous piece, the best thing he had ever written. And he said, "This is shite compared to the original. This is nothing better than a tribute." And that's where you get the Tenacious D song from. He named this piece The Devil's Trill, and he claimed that the difference between his version and the version in the dream was so great that he would have smashed his violin and quit music forever had he not needed it for his job.
Is this where that story about, selling your soul to the devil for music comes from?
Classical, 1750 to 1830.
Okay.
Mozart and Beethoven
Yes,
show up like
classic.
da-da-da-da. Now, Beethoven was
Powerhouses.
famously known for going deaf. Once that happened, everyone told him that he should just quit music forever. But he just wouldn't hear it. Anyway, there's so much I could say about these two. Romantic era. Now that's when everybody started kissing, and it's my favorite. Great piece. Mwah. Oh, you played wonderfully too. Mwah. We also enjoyed listening. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. All you need to know about this one is
Mario?
Chopin and Berlioz. Berlioz, however, was not
I don't know about this guy. I know about Chopin, obviously.
getting any kisses.
There
He
you go.
was relatably, painfully single, living alone in Paris, the city of love. So here's how it started. He's there and he's in his early 20s, and he is looking for a new GF. So one day he
Yo, it's true. Some of these people, they achieved so much just in their 20s.
attends
Makes
a
you think.
Shakespearean play, and on stage he spots an actress. and he immediately falls in love with her. He wrote her many notes, confessing his love, but her DMs went unreplied.
Her DMs.
So he began writing a symphony about her. How can she ignore this? And also around this time he started smoking a lot of opium, but don't worry about that. Anyway, so he wrote this piece just for her. However, his DMs still went unreplied. For several months he started to get quite disheartened. Until he saw another girl.
Just like that.
So he immediately fell in love with her instead.
Okay, he pretty much falls in love with everybody.
And he said, you know what? I'm going to change that symphony I wrote, so now it's about this other lady, and not about that ugly one that I didn't like anyway. This time, happily, she reciprocated, and they fell in love and were set to marry.
I guess that's what you call a muse, right?
Suddenly. What the fuck? Phones haven't been invented yet. Yes, hello. I'm busy. Oh, Rome? To study? Absolutely. I'll catch the first flight out. So Berlioz went to Rome to study music. However, while he was away, he got some news.
Berlioz. Dead?
I have to tell you something.
What's up? Cheating on you?
Sacre bleu. Some other, more handsome musician swooped in and married his girl while he was in Rome, and they ran away together. Berlioz was furious, and he set his mind to solving the problem. I know what I'm going to do. I'm gonna murder her and her lover.
He's gonna write a piece, but I guess not.
And her mom.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna do a self-murder.
Classic.
Alright, so this gets pretty elaborate. His idea is to dress up as a housemaid. He has bought both poison and 2 guns. Now he is going to sneak into the house of his
Why is it anime?
ex-fiancée, and there she and her mother will be sipping tea, which he has already poisoned.
Yeah.
Then he will pull off the clothing and reveal himself. Blam, blam, sad overture. So he heads back home to Paris to do it. But while on his travels there, takes quite a while, he has to change carriages. And when he does that, he leaves the guns in one of the little cubbies.
Oh no.
So he's lost all his weapons.
Oh shit.
What is he going to do now? Well, his next leg on the stop is Genoa, and he decides, you know what? Let's just skip the murder and go straight to the finale. So he stops off in the port city of Genoa, and he's there at the side of the Mediterranean. He pauses for a moment, then he throws himself in. Now, some people see this whole thing happen, and they think he's had an accident, so they run in to try to save him. They pull him to the shore.
The Hoff.
He lived.
Oh.
So he has now reached his lowest point. He dejectedly continues home. He gets back to
I mean, I would think it has a second chance almost.
Paris, and he wallows around, feeling pretty sorry for himself. But he decides, you know what? I may as well do what I do best in times of trouble.
Write it down. Write down your feelings.
Smoke a lot of opium. And while I do that, I shall write a symphony.
Good.
Although I ain't gonna name it after that hoe who stole my heart. And so he went back to work. But here's the thing. It was the greatest piece he had ever written. And it premiered to a huge crowd. And you know what? It was a smash hit. #1 on iTunes. But then,
wait a second, what?
It was a smash hit.
It's all BTS.
#1 on iTunes. But then, and here's a bloody plot twist.
Man, that's funny.
Remember the first girl?
She came back?
Attended that concert, and she realized that Berlioz was a genius. And then she wrote a letter to your boy saying how good your bloody symphony was, and sorry about not replying, I just put my phone down and got super busy or whatever.
Right.
By the way, I love you. And so Berlioz goes, well, I love you too. And a year later, they were married. There's a beautiful moral of the story. See, fellas, don't jump in the Mediterranean. Anyway.
Just create a the award-winning symphony. That's what it is.
A few years later, they got divorced.
Oh.
Because weirdly, he cheated on his wife with the housemaid.
What is this picture? What is this picture, by the way?
Later, they got divorced. Because weirdly, he cheated on his wife
Okay.
with the housemaid.
So everybody cheats on everybody.
Not that one, a different one.
Okay.
But then he married that housemaid. Hooray.
Okay, this guy definitely has some woman problems, like 100% on both sides. Sometimes they're being bitches, sometimes he's being a dick.
But then when he died later on, for some reason, he gets buried with both of them. It's kind of strange. But moving on to the Impressionist musicians.
Oh.
Now that's Claude de... What now? Claude what? You know what you...
Yes. Also, I think Family Guy made a joke on this, did he not?
The what now? Claude the what? You know what? You'd better go to ad time. All right, guys, welcome back to the Nord Stream.
What's up?
Today we're playing Assassin's Creed 3. Chat,
Oh,
chat,
wow.
come on, chat. Hey, oh, everyone's spamming Nord in the chat.
Yes, for sure.
Whoa, a new follower. Hey, welcome to the Dream Team Sub Cream. Thank you so much for the great... Oh, unfollowed. Sorry, guys. The
Fallout
cleaners
4.
are here. Sorry, just ignore the mess. I haven't cleaned up these bottles yet. No, it's just tea. It's just tea. I stream for 10 hours a day, and it's like the algorithm is against me or something.
that.
How come
True.
everyone is watching Asmon's stream, and I'm not getting any new followers? I'm playing the games. What more do you want me to do?
Be good at him. I don't have
Just
interesting
a quick word
commentary.
from the sponsor. NordVPN is the VPN that you can trust. So go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian for a huge deal on a 2-year
I always use Nord on the McDonald's Wi-Fi.
plan plus 4 bonus months for free, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. My God. Today we are going to be watching the new Snow White movie. I love the intro. Oh, I love seeing that Disney logo. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Guys, I'm just gonna get up and get some
Wait a second.
food. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, of course.
What the f? Who reported my stream? Hello, my
That was watch like a porn or something.
Nordlings. Welcome back to the stream. Can we get some ends in the chat, guys? No, not like that. Mods! Mod!
At the N word. Oh my god.
The ASMR
Classic Twitch.
stream for NordVPN. Today I'm going to be drinking a can of Coke while I say the word Nord.
ASMR, of course. He's not half naked though, so it doesn't count.
Nord. Hey, thank you for the tier 3 sub. With NordVPN, I can be outside
China?
my house, Jack's Film's house, Samito's house.
Wow, topical Jack's film subs. Damn. I mean, again, if you're watching this in the future, probably have no idea what the hell's going on, but
Outside
yeah.
my house, Jack's Film's house, Samito's house, Ordinary Things house. Just like that.
Of course.
Welcome back to the hot tub
Palace.
stream. What do you guys mean? How many hot dogs can I put in my mouth? Why? I'll just... Oh my god. $5,000 donation. Thank you
Yep.
so much. You guys are such good friends.
Yep.
Streaming's not for me. I'd
True.
rather go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan, plus 4 months for free. Ad over.
Yay.
Watching Netflix, are you?
The fuck? Yo, when's the new Stranger Things coming out, by the way?
All tucked in with a 3-hour essay on Good Game Good, and here's why.
Fallout New Vegas is actually the only based Bethesda game.
Turn that off. I've got something for you much.
I mean, Skyrim is pretty good as well. Unless they mean the only Fallout game, then yeah, I would probably agree.
New Vegas is actually the only based Bethesda game.
No,
Turn that
there's a
off.
couple of ones. Maybe you can count Morrowind in there as well, so...
I've got something for you much less enjoyable and far more expensive. We're going to the theater.
Just like that.
Theater, from the ancient Greek theatron, the most dramatic of the
I was
Transformers.
gonna say that. Sounds like a robot.
It means a place for viewing. Here's a Roman theater.
You haven't been to the theater in. Holy shit.
They were quite simple back then. You have the stage, the
Shame on me.
auditorium,
Can't
and
remember.
the vomitorium.
Yes,
Now, for a very
of
long
course.
time, people thought that the vomitorium was a place where the Romans would gorge themselves, where they would eat so much that they would throw up and then gorge themselves again because they were so decadent and or bulimic. But it comes from the word vomere, which means to spew forth, because that's where people go in and out.
And that's what vomit means, yeah.
So vomitorium is just a dramatic way of saying the entrance. Now, if you skip forward to the 1800s, things are getting a lot more modernized. But they still didn't have electric, so they had what's called the limelight. And that's why they say, to be in the limelight, to be the star of the show.
Yeah.
What they would do was take a piece of quicklime and heat it up super, super hot, which will naturally glow very bright. They would then take reflective mirrors and lenses to focus the beam, and they would use that as an early form of the spotlight. The limelight is not because it's green, but because it's made from quicklime. In
Wow, I had no idea. Wow, that's cool.
the modern day, things are a lot more advanced, and they can do all sorts of cool
obviously.
shit with like lasers going into your eyeballs and all sorts of stuff.
Resident Evil.
But it's not just the tech that's had an upgrade, it's the architecture as well. In
The references are awesome.
Elizabethan times, they had the yard, and you could get in here for about a penny apiece. And this is where all the poor people stood to watch the shows. It's like when you go to Oppenheimer and you end up with the worst seats in the IMAX theater,
horrible.
right? But thankfully, in
Again, I'm gonna say this again. I watched Lord of the Rings 1 in the first row. It was freaking horrible, man. It was goddamn horrible.
modern times, we have fixed that problem.
No, wait, it wasn't Lord of the Rings. It was something. I remember just watching in the first row, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't see jack shit.
We kicked out all the poor people and we sunk the floor down low and put in an orchestra pit. Now, these things are usually 6 to 12 feet deep,
Damn,
so
so
they're
don't
not
fall in.
obstructing the audience's view. But having a
Yeah, plenty of
giant
people fell
hole
down,
at the end
yeah.
of a stage
Yeah.
is quite dangerous. So usually they put a big net there as
Yo, that's crazy though.
the end of a stage is quite
I guess you're gonna see because of her robe there.
dangerous. So usually they put a big net there as well. And yet, a lot of people still get pitted. Like a lot of people.
Oh no, wait, Kelsey.
In 2011.
Grammer.
During a production
What's gonna call him Seinfeld? No, the other guy, Frasier.
of The Sound of Music, one of the lead actresses fell into the orchestra pit and was left paralyzed from the waist down. In 2009, a conductor, not a superconductor, just a regular one,
okay.
fell 14 feet into the dark pit
14
and broke 9 vertebrae and 1 ankle.
MK.
Mamma mia. And he
Damn.
fell on his pointy conducting thing. At the Bolshoi Theatre, a violinist died from his injuries after
Okay, what the fuck? Hold on a sec. What?
falling into the pit. This theatre
Hold up.
Violinist.
What?
died from his
Fell into the pit on the 16th July 2013, so it's fairly new. It's like 10 years ago. He survived the fall initially, but died the following day in hospital. He had been working at the theater for 4 decades. Yeah, but then again, you're on stage, maybe you're like, you're stressing and stuff.
injuries after
That's
falling into
crazy.
This theatre is prone to all sorts of accidents, by the way. It's kind of cursed.
Bolshoi dancer confesses to acid attack on ballet's director. U.S. dancer quits the Bolshoi complaining of bribery. Terrific moment actor or something was shot to death by part of the set. What?
But performers and musicians aren't the only ones
So it's true. Why don't they just place a net or something?
falling into the pit. In 1988, an 82-year-old man fell from his balcony box seating all the way down into
I should be laughing, but I don't know. That's funny. The man was sitting on the balcony rail. When an usher requested he not, he tipped over backwards and fell. Oh my god, it's horrible. But at the same time,
82-year-old
I'm laughing the way it's
old
depicted.
man fell from his balcony box seating all the way down into the pit during a performance of Macbeth.
But yeah,
He
that's
died.
crazy. Oh my god. I
Very
love it.
spooky. Even already dead people are getting pitted.
I'm not gonna lie, those balconies look freaking dangerous. Whenever I watch like, like on a movie or something that shows like the balconies, I'm like, yo, you could just like simply drop.
In 2016, a man sprinkled his friend's ashes into the orchestra pit at the Met Theatre.
Why?
This happened during the intermission, and it was a sort of tribute to a mentor of his.
Ash Ketchum, Ashton Kutcher, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
But of course, people went, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." And he flees the scene. Everyone's coughing and sneezing up dead guy, and people think, is this anthrax?
Inhaling that guy.
What is this? So they call in the anti-terrorism
Oh my god. The man responsible, Roger Kaiser, was seen by several musicians sprinkling a white powdery substance in the pit. The ashes were a friend of his, Terry Turner, who died of cancer. He was not charged, and he wrote an open letter of apology. Okay,
police,
not so bad.
and the whole show is cancelled for the rest of the year.
Oh, this is from that movie there, Tenant?
Evening.
Right? Trying to guess all the references.
A quick intermission.
Let's go.
Or is it? Ooh, Fiddle TD.
True theater, yeah.
I am the trap master. Not like that. Do not ask me to reveal my secrets,
Oh, wait, what?
master. Not like that.
Okay,
Do not
gotcha.
ask me to reveal my secrets.
Phantom of the
woman.
Opera.
I have dedicated my life to the mysteries of the theater. Ah, the theater. She has so many enigmatic traps. Let us start with the
The special effects. Woo! That's it.
Let us start with the most simple yet devious. The wall trap. It allows the actor to walk directly into the set piece. Ah, where did he go? Nobody knows. Cast your eyes over here to the genie trap.
Oh?
Now, the victim stands on this dumbwaiter, and a counterweight launches their hapless body up onto the stage. Whoosh! In the olden days, this circle of flaps would sometimes go on top, and then that would make the whole thing just one way.
Wow, it
Now,
looks
back when they
dangerous.
made this thing, they didn't have hydraulics. So instead, they'd have like 6 stagehands pulling as fast as they could. And sometimes it would go totally wonky, or it wouldn't open properly, or they'd only get about halfway through.
That's
Oh,
what I'm thinking, yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. There's only 2. Wrong. This is the vampire trap.
There's some very interesting names, huh?
If I want to come back up again. This is called the sunroof trap. Very cool. Watch out for the closing doors on this one. It managed to trap Spider-Man's foot back into production in 2013. Me and
Holy shit.
the Green Goblin.
The yell.
Spider-Man's foot back in.
Yo, apparently you guys know that the Spider-Man live theater, whatever, was horrible. Like, it had so many issues. I remember reading that back in the day, right? An ensemble dancer and understudy was seriously injured after his leg became pinned in a trap door that appeared to have closed. Yeah, apparently this production was horrible, man. Like, people really got injured. I'm guessing this is one of them.
In a production in 2013. Me and the Green Goblin.
The voice. An ensemble dancer badly broke his leg when pinned in a not quite. Is it the same guy? Yeah. Oh, he was Spider-Man, I'm guessing. Badly broke his leg when pinned in a not quite closed trapdoor. Okay, yeah, this is the same thing.
And put back into production in 2013. Me
Yeah,
and
this production was cursed.
the Green Goblin, we collabed on this one. All right, there's one more.
And again, you never think they would make a theater play out of Spider-Man, but there you have it.
The Ghost Glide. What you do is stand on this slidey bit,
That's not
and
so
it
bad.
ascends diagonally, which makes it look like he's coming out of the ground. But the ladies, they're yawning, they're going, ooh, short ghost. But then,
Stall.
5 foot, 5'1",
Oh.
5'2".
Let's
All the
go.
ladies are turning their heads now. 5'3",
right.
5'4".
That's it. That's it.
5'5". All the ladies are lovely. Now, I bet you're wondering, what happens to the actors when they go down these traps? Are they dead and gone forever?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes.
Okay, that's from Family Guy. Ah.
Are they dead and gone forever? Yes, sometimes. In 1888,
Yes. Okay. Sometimes.
Frederick Federici was playing the role of Mephistopheles in
of
Faust
course.
at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne. as
he's
he
dead.
descended the trap at the end of the play. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. He had a heart attack and died.
Why is he laughing about it? What's that chuckle?
Goodbye. He had a heart attack and died.
Let's see what's up. 1888, opening night. There was a doctor backstage who immediately attended to him, but he couldn't be revived. I mean, at least... Oh, he's 37. Jeez. I was going to say, at least, he finished his performance.
Goodbye. He had a heart attack
That's one way to go,
and
man.
died. Never seen again. So as you can imagine, with this many deaths...
Hold up. How was this animated?
Say goodbye. He had a heart attack and died.
Somebody had to play this animation or something.
Never seen again. So as you can imagine, with this many deaths, the theater has become a highly haunted place.
True.
Oh yes.
True.
In fact, sometimes you can put your ear right up to the wall and you can hear two male ghosts wrestling. Can't fake that. Ah, another ghost hole. Don't look inside. I did once. Almost went blind. That's why I wear the mask.
Of course.
Anyway, because of all the ghosts, the theaters do whatever they can to keep the spirits happy. See this? It's called a ghost light. When everything is closed, it is kept on always. Kept...
Really? Also, so that alive people don't fall off the stage and hurt themselves. It's a superstitious... It's superstition, but also a useful, liable thing. I didn't know that was superstition for real.
A ghost light. When everything is closed, it is kept on always. Kept on for the ghosts, so that they don't, bump their shins in the dark or whatever. At the Palace Theatre in
Again.
London, there has been some ghostly activity.
It seems to be a bit of a hotspot for ghostly activities.
And that's why they always keep two empty seats at the back, so that the ghosts may sit there and watch the show.
So that's why we traditionally kept a couple of seats off sale for the ghosts.
I didn't know there was a live performance of Harry Potter, but here we are.
Harry Potter is so popular that we sell those seats now.
Oh.
Oh.
Also, most theatres close for 1 day per week, and on those days, the ghosts are left to perform for each other in their own shows.
Nice.
Which they like, we think.
I was worried about my own vagina. It
Oh,
needed a
finally, the vagina monologue.
Of
a
course.
culture of other vaginas.
The smile. It's like,
I wasn't always part.
what is this? What is this, like holding the suit together?
I wasn't always part of the elite.
Fit the suit, yeah.
In fact, from a very young age, I grew up in an orphanage. No, my parents weren't dead. Rent in that building was just really cheap.
Okay, I'm wondering. At first I thought
No,
this was like these shots were taken from like movies or something, but are they done in front of a green screen, obviously? But I'm saying, is this like a live actor doing the shots right now? And then, just imposing the face on top?
parents weren't dead. Rent in that building was just really cheap. But my parents showed me no affection. And as soon as they could, they sent me off to boarding school.
Oh no.
But boards were always their passion, not mine. I tried to run away, but they caught me. And boy, did they throw the book at me. Alas, I did not dodge in time. I spent the next few years in a coma. A Native American town, Pueblo, Acoma.
Of course.
And the people there taught me how to read American. They also had a local library, and I spent my days buried in books, learning as much as I could about the arts. And once someone noticed me buried up,
Let's get that dub.
learning as much as I could about the
Oh my god.
And once
Okay, that's not a real book, is it? No way.
someone noticed
No way,
me
no.
buried under
Doesn't make
those
any sense.
books, and they rescued me. I knew I wanted to teach default character presets like yourselves, all about Shakespeare. Editor's note. I started Googling Shakespeare, and I got kind of distracted, so, I don't know, here's a WAV file. You can do something with this. Put them in like a classroom or something. Alright, attention, everybody. I am your new teacher. You are a bunch of...
Do you see what I'm saying? This is like...
Attention, everybody.
This has to be like a real actor.
I am your new
Have we got that kind of budget right now?
teacher. You are a bunch of troubled inner
I'm
city
saying it's not from a movie. I think like they actually like shot it for this episode. I guess I don't know.
youths. All you know is shoot gun, fail test, and crime. But I'm here to teach you that
Why is he like in an inner city school? You know?
is shoot gun, fail test,
Okay, this has to be from a movie.
and crime. But I'm here to teach you that actually books
Guy wearing
and
shades in
reading and
class.
stuff are actually pretty epic after all. Now, the earliest known written language is what, Mr. Single Parent Household? I don't know, Teach, but you're never going to get through to me. Oh, really? Well, what if I go back in time? Back in time. In the long, long ago, very few could read. But to be fair, most of the written languages were kinda shit. This is cuneiform, the very first written language, and it has far too much punctuation. Then eventually came along the Egyptians, and they invented emojis, but they
Yes.
would call them hieroglyphs. Anyway, the typical written thing would go like this. Message for you, sir. Big bird, man with stick, man sitting, circle. Oh, more bills. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Eventually that became quite annoying, so the Phoenicians, who were a kind of Lebanese, very progressive especially for those days,
What? That's when there's two girls. I get it.
were a kind of
I was like, what's the? I don't get it. Now I get it.
Lebanese, very progressive especially for those days. Now they came up with a better idea. They started going, hey, that sounds a bit like an A. Buh, that sounds a bit like a B. Kuh, and so on and so on, until we had a proto-form of the alphabet.
Okay.
Now, the Greeks thought that was pretty neat,
There's an X.
but they said, let's come up with an even better version with 22 letters, and soon that will be like English. Oral history. Greeks, more like geeks. Got 'em. Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you about something highly relatable. Of the surviving Greek works.
Hold up, what?
Well, let me tell you about something
A book, you say? What do I plug it into? Your mind.
highly
Oh my God,
relatable.
that's so
Of
deep.
the surviving Greek works, the greatest hits were the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yep.
Now, because most people couldn't read,
Don't worry about that.
this stuff wasn't written down for a very long time, and instead it was memorized and performed. And when they performed it, they used one of these, a lyre.
Okay.
Now, this was great for conveying tone, right? So, here's a soft bit, doo-doo-doo, but then this is a big dramatic bit. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Now, the Iliad starts...
Wait, what? I don't know it.
But then this is a big dramatic bit. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Now, the Iliad starts with this guy, Menelaus, king of Sparta, and he has a wife, Helen, and she is a very fine lady. And then the Prince of
Yo,
Troy
that really got super trashed.
shows up. His name is Paris, and he goes, "Damn, shorty, awooga, awooga." Hey, that's what he'd say, right? And he and his boys abduct her and took her all the way back to his crib in Troy. Now, this makes Menelaus quite miffed.
Hey, hold on there, Buster.
He declares a turf war, but he can't win it alone, so he calls on his homies.
I love the language we use.
Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and Achilles, the best drive-by shooter of all time. But
I
Achilles
mean, it's
was
being played with Brad Pitt, like in a different movie.
not in the mood
Hold up. Achilles won a beautiful maiden as a war prize, but Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, took the maiden for himself. Achilles felt so dishonored by the whole thing he refused to help in the Trojan War. Other versions include him being prevented from bad touching a particular woman of low nobility. It gets complicated.
to fight. So the whole of the Iliad is basically spent trying to convince this
Homer,
guy to get involved.
Please?
No.
Please?
No.
Eventually, they win the turf war by being very sneaky. They make a giant horse, which is the symbol of Troy, and they leave it at the front gate. That's their way of saying, "Oh, I guess you win.
Is that from the Lego game?
We're walking away now." And meanwhile, thousands of soldiers go off and hide in some bushes. And the
In some
Trojans are very
bushes.
suspicious, but they can see that the Greek ships are actually sailing away into the horizon. So they know,
That's it.
oh, it must be
Yeah.
real, must be real.
Some versions have the ships simply full of soldiers and then sailing back at night rather than hiding somewhere on land. Okay,
We've won the many years war.
just like that. That easy.
But actually, there's almost no one on those ships, and there's a surprise inside the horse. Later that night, when everyone's asleep, boiling hot tzatziki everywhere. And also some soldiers wearing thermal protection.
There was no hot tzatziki. It was some elite soldiers, SAS of their time, hiding in there. Some misunderstandings or oversimplifications of the story have the idea that an entire small army was holed up in the horse.
They get out and they open the gates, and then everyone comes out of the bushes, running into the city and kill everybody.
Yep.
After they win the war, Odysseus heads back home to Ithaca. However, on his way, he starts making beef with Poseidon, god of the sea. And Poseidon is mad at the disrespect, so he sends Odysseus...
Whoa, what?
Poseidon, god of the sea. And Poseidon...
Odysseus was supposed to give his thanks to the gods, sort of, it's complicated, and then he blinded Poseidon's son, Polyphemus, the Cyclops.
Is mad at the disrespect, so he sends Odysseus on a long-ass detour.
There was a movie with this, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of movies of his journey there.
And that detour is the story of the Odyssey. Pretty epic, right, kids? Whoa, Teach, that's fire. I'm starting to come around. That Odysseus guy is literally me. Yeah, I'm going to try that horse trick on my ops. Homer, from Homer's Odyssey, is not a character in the story. He's the guy who tells the story, and then people wrote it down. Now, moving chronologically to the next big one, you've got the Bible. And for all practical purposes, this was basically an oral tradition too. Most people were illiterate by this point, and the Bible...
Oh my god, hold on. Literacy rates in the 1400s were around 10% of men and 1.5 for women. Jesus. But it's more complicated because the definition of literate often denoted the ability to read and write Latin and or Greek sometimes. To really learn literacy, one would go to grammar school, but in the contemporary sense of literate, where you can sound out most things and roughly get by, what they would call léger, up to the half of the population may have had the skill set according to some sources. When you think about it, it makes sense. Otherwise, why have signs like Ye Olde Tavern if only a few people know what it says?
The Bible was written in Latin, and pretty much only the clergy knew Latin, so they would be the one to recite it to people.
It says that the cute lady at the front should go on a date with me, please. Listen, the rules are the rules. I didn't say it, the book did.
There was a translated version into English, the Wycliffe's Bible.
Oh my god. Check out the writing on this, dude. Yeah, okay, I guess you get used to it.
You better believe that thing was a threat to the order, so they made that illegal to own.
What?
And if you were found with an unlicensed copy, the punishment would be death.
Damn!
So it remained. The Bible was read to the people. Now, by the 1300s came Chaucer, who wrote the Canterbury Tales, and that was a pretty big deal.
Get this book now.
Because it's one of the first significant works written in Middle English. It describes a bunch of people making a pilgrimage from Southwark to Canterbury, which is here.
I heard about it, I just never actually read the book.
To here, which was the longest journey anyone had ever made in the 1300s. Now, it's a whole series of stories, and most of them can be boiled down to, how come if everyone is on a pilgrimage, you're all so focused on material stuff? Oh, hypocrites much? Dong. It's now the 1600s, and they've updated all the textbooks from Middle English to regular. In 1601, King James I said, all right, you know what? Let's everyone have a copy of the Bible they can read. Let's do a King James Bible. I won't feature it, but I'd love to be in the title. And he commissioned a committee of scholars to rewrite the thing in English, God's language. It took 8...
Wait, what?
God's language. It took 8 years. And that brings us to Shakespeare. And he's a huge deal. Oh, look, we're out of time. But sir, we're supposed to do penis inspection day today. No, there's no time. Roll the end card.
What?
The end.
That's it?
All right, that's the list.
What about Shakespeare?
You watched the whole video. Or at least, you had it on in the background while you scrolled your phone. And I couldn't be prouder of you. There's just one more quick thing I want to tell you about. Theater props. For example, this gun. Now, the thing... Oh, look who it is. I know what you're
What are you doing here?
thinking, but it's just an actor. We all know that the real Lincoln is dead. You know, when he fell asleep on the tracks of the Underground Railroad.
Of course.
Anyway, this thing is super realistic. Although the trigger is a little loose.
Of course.
Ruh-roh.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe you did that. But I won't tell anyone. And, in fact, good news. I'm gonna make you my little protege. And I will be your protojo. And I got so many more lessons to teach.
Teach me.
Still
Next
here.
time.
Yes, just a little cleaning. More good news. Next video is almost done. It'll be on incognito mode, and it's about the arts. And the next main channel video is also nearly done. That'll be out shortly after.
Oh, nice. I'm guessing we're getting Shakespeare.
If you're looking for more content in the
Why is it blurred out?
meanwhile, we have another channel called Story Mode. The Metal Gear Solid and Forspoken videos are
I thought he was doing a face reveal. I'm like, wait a second.
especially good. Don't forget NordVPN.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. More soon.
Thank you for this presentation. That was pretty cool. That was awesome. Hey, listen, we learned a couple of things. It was always funny as hell. The references are on point. The memes are on point. Good times, good fun, and can't wait for the next one. I guess soon? Let's hope so. Thank you for watching. Peace.